Let's take a look at lunging and slipping. Okay, it's the second part of footwork. So first things first, lunging. I'm not going to show you how to cut with a lunge yet. Okay, I'm just going to show you how to lunge first, and then once we start going over the cuts again, then I'm going to show you how to do the lunging and cutting at the same time. Okay, so we're going to go into our standard guard just as usual. I'm not even going to use my sword for this one, just to avoid any confusion, something like that. Just going to go into standard guard. And if you were in rapier with me, if you were in small sword with me, this shouldn't be news. We're going to shift our weight to our back leg, really create that spring on the back leg, and basically push down. What this is going to do, it's going to spring me forward. I want to go forward, so just push. Let's not worry about the arms for the time being, and it's like a walk forward, except I'm not just walking forward with my front leg because it doesn't carry any power. Okay, so you push down on this leg and lunge. Okay, so a few considerations regarding lunge. You're going to stay in guard. You don't want to go for a super long lunge like we do, for example, in rapier or in small sword, which is very exaggerated, and even so, my knee didn't go as far as it should have been, like this. So it needs to be a more conservative lunge. Okay, so remember all that uneven ground thing I just talked about last week. So about a foot or a foot and a half lunge should be about enough. Maybe if you really want to go for it, make it like a 2 foot lunge, so like back. Okay, so more things. What happens with the front foot? You land heel first. Okay, you can also land with the flat foot. I mean, landing with the flat foot doesn't really work all that well sometimes, because sometimes the tendency is that you land with the front of the foot and then you can't really do anything, you just fall forward. So my recommendation, since we're training indoors, just try to lunge with the heel first and then toe. So from here, weight on the back leg, push, and propel yourself forward. Okay? Land with the heel, toe softly without making too much noise. So remember, if I am doing a lunge like this, all of my power, all of my momentum went down to the ground. I'm not fighting the ground, I'm fighting my opponent, so I want to go forwards. Okay? Make it as quiet, as silently as possible, because this means that you're really going forward. Okay? So this is about, the right leg. There is still one more thing, which is when you're lunging, I'm going to use this. So when you're lunging, you really want to have it like a 90-degree angle here. The farthest it should go, it should be around on the insole. Don't make the lunge where you're landing like this, with your knee going past, because it's going to damage your knee. Okay? Going to damage your knee, going to damage your recovery. So a nice middle ground allows you to push down into a recovery. So far so good, makes sense?
Yes.
Yep. Lovely. Regarding the back leg, same thing. So with the back leg, again, you're going to push down, propel yourself forwards. Don't roll the foot, okay? Don't slide the foot. I mean, but if you are between the two, at least slide and don't roll. Roll, you're damaging your ankle. You can't make a proper recovery. At least if you're sliding, you're getting closer to your opponent, which means that your recovery is also going to be closer to your opponent. All right, makes sense, right?
Yes.
Regarding back leg, does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, all clear?
Yeah.
Lovely, let's see how that plays out. So for the time being, upper body, let's not talk about it yet. Okay, because we need to learn how to cut so that we can use the cut to our advantage. All right. So second thing, slipping. Every time we cut, or every time we make an attack, we will be covering to a guard. Okay, so cuts generally start in a guard and also end in a guard, so that you start safely, you make the cut, and then you recover to safety. Okay, so I cut, I went into a lunge, my cut is right all the way over there, so I need to go back into a guard. So the best way for us to recover is not to simply go back here. Okay, we're gonna cut and we're gonna slip on every parry. Okay, Why? Any idea?
Any idea why we are sleeping?
Hmm?
Any idea why we sleep left?
Yeah.
Well, just so we don't get it cut.
So we don't get it cut, exactly, okay? Roworth does say that you should slip the leg on every single parry. Now we all know this is not gonna happen every single time, okay? I want you guys to create the habit of slipping the leg on every single lunge that you make, on every single attack that you receive, because at least you're creating the habit of, I need to slip the leg. Because otherwise, you're not slipping the leg, you're getting the leg constantly cut. So ideally, it's safer for you if you go, whoever you go up against, to simply slip the leg on every single parry, and then at least you create the habit of slipping more quickly. All right, make sense?
Yes.
Yep. Okay, so how do we slip? Well, very simply. We can actually slip the leg while we are on guard, and to do this, we just withdraw the front leg. Easy. Of course, it can be slipped in a way where it just meets the left foot. Still a slip. Okay. Or if you want to, you can actually slip it past your left foot. Okay. If you are slipping past your left foot, this means that your body naturally is going to be moving forward a little bit, in the sense that if I, for example, if I'm being struck on the leg, I can use this to my advantage. I slip the leg, I cut, my body goes forward a little bit. Whereas if I cut from here, I can still do it, but it kind of depends on how you actually feel about it. Okay. Another way for us to recover will of course be from the lunge. So we lunged, and then from here we need to make the parry. Of course we can make the parry by simply going into guard. I mean, it's fine, it's not gonna, you're not going to be dying for it unless you're facing me, I'm joking. But if you lunge, ideally you're going to make the parry and then you go back into a slip. Is there a downside to this? I ask.
Yeah.
Tell me.
You have like a parameters. Don't have enough stability here. If he goes against you, you'll fall backwards.
If he goes against you, like if he really charges at you.
Yeah.
Yeah. More or less. You have a very, very valid point. Anything else? So if you're slipping all the way, if you're slipping from here to here, or if you're slipping from here to here, which one is quickest?
The first one.
The first one, it's covering a lot less distance, right? So we lunge and then recover here. Otherwise from here to here, you're taking a little bit longer. But then again, your opponent in theory is also going to take time to attack you while he's making the parry and then striking you back. Good. So do you guys remember last class when we were going over the solo drill? What's the best way to protect your leg?
To sleep.
To slip, to get it out of the way, right? So why do we do it? I'm going to stay in my guard. Ruben, drop the point. I'm going to cut your leg, but you drop the point. Okay, so basically you're going to parry my cut to your leg.
Okay.
Exactly. I'd say parry the cut to his leg. I mean, it's valid, makes sense, right? He's dropped into the half-hanging guard, protecting his leg. Okay, so do the same thing again. Okay, up goes the head. Okay, so ideally, the best way to do this is to go into St. George when I cut. Okay. You went far too high.
I know.
Drop that. Okay, so again, I'm going to feint to his leg, cut to his.
Okay, sorry.
Okay, so if I cut and then cut, far too high again.
Really?
What's happening with you? Bend the elbow.
More like this.
Yeah, just bend the elbow like this. Perfect. Okay, so as you cut an angle, it drops.
Okay.
Okay, bend the elbow. There we go.
Okay.
Perfect. You don't need to go like bend the far back too. There we go. Perfect. Okay, so go back to guard. So if I was to cut his leg truly, go to St. George. You got the leg out of the way. I'm fully exposed. I can basically eat his sword. Okay, so bang. Okay, and I'm dead. All right. If I had made a feint to the leg, I would have done feint cut.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. There you go. Okay. So he got the leg out of the way, and he also covered his head, so he's well protected. Okay. Another thing. So if I was to do the reverse thing, if I were to cut here and at the leg, he didn't slip. So up goes the leg. If I parry here and he slips, there is nothing there. Okay, and the same thing, for example, if I cut to his head. So if I go into, then there is nothing there again. Okay, so this is why we slip on every parry. Just get the leg out of the way, get it protected. All right, thank you.
No problem.
And cut that St. George out.
I know.
Parrying St. George all the way up here. All right, cool, makes sense?
Sure.
Yeah, let's go, let's do some exercises.